30 years ago today, 10 lives were lost near Comfort when the Guadalupe River was deluged by more than a foot of rain.
Our chopper photographer helped save lives that day, but for those who perished, their memories still survive.
Eyewitness News meteorologist Jeremy Baker traveled to Comfort to take a look back at the historic flood.
This is the Guadalupe River in Comfort. Right now it's about 20 feet across and the gauges say about 3 feet deep. But 30 years ago on the day of the flood, this river was 2/3 of a mile wide and over 31 feet deep. That's almost to the bottom of that tall overpass.
On that day, this normally quiet town of Comfort was mobilized. People trying to save as many as possible that became trapped in the rushing water, including Charles Heinen, who lived by the Guadalupe.
There were a bunch of people walking up and down the river, and I helped them look for bodies, but we didn't have any luck.
Some of those bodies were those of campers on a bus from the Pot of Gold Ranch that became trapped trying to escape.
I could see those girls. They had crawled up in these cypress trees, waiting for helicopters to pick them up. So I thought, well, they might find everybody.
But not everybody was found.
They had formed a human chain and got swept away and jerked apart.
The National Weather Service put out this flood warning at 2:45 a.m., which read life-threatening flooding on the Guadalupe River from Kerrville upstream. Move to higher ground and away from the river at once. By daybreak, the scene became a raging river, and people were trapped in trees waiting for rescue who weren't able to make it to dry land before the water got too high. Those that did make it to safety were hoping their friends, who they hadn't seen in hours, were still alive.
Well, it makes me feel like I really want to go out and look for them, but I can't because I can stand here and...
Just feet away from both the entrance to the ranch and the Guadalupe River sits this memorial for those whose lives were lost and those who tried to rescue them. Fresh roses laid there today where people came to pay their respects and remember the tragedy of that day. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Just amazing video. Now, coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 10, Bill Taylor will sit down with the very photographer who was on board Chopper 5 at the time for those harrowing moments, rescuing people. Unbelievable memories you'll want to hear right here tonight at 10.